another lessons on Python hands-on. So in today's lessons we are going to learn one important concept, and that is called packing. Okay, so packing in Python is a very important concept while we are doing some level of intermediate level programming, or maybe if you want to explore some more into advanced concept. Okay, so what is meaning? So as from the term that is term called packing. So let me explain. So packing. Okay, so it's a general term, like in real life example, if you talk about the packing means combining multiple item to a single container. Okay, so or maybe in more formal definitions we can say packing refer to process of combining multiple values into single container. And this type of container generally it could be any type of data structure, right? So generally it tuple, list. Okay, so these are container that have multiple value, right? So if you know the concept of list, okay, so like called list. Okay, so these are type of containers, okay, that has multiple value. Okay, so if I creating some tuple, okay, let's suppose this. So if how we define tuples, we define the tuples like that. Okay, hello, okay, and something you can store any value like true. Okay, true, something like that. So we can say these are multiple values. Okay, and all these multiple values are contained by one container, right? So you can see then what is a different concept. Okay, so we know how to define list, okay, and we know how to define tuple. Okay, so then why we are need of unpacking the concept, right? So this might be interesting questions. Okay, so the I think if you know it, if you go in deeper, so somehow you will get the intentionally or unintentionally we are performing all the operations is a type of packing here. Okay, so here because suppose how to define list, right? We define some list. Okay, so if you are assigning some value, so like item 1 something like that, item 2, item 3, so means we are taking different element from keywords and assigning something. Okay, so it means what whenever we are adding some multiple element manually, so this is also part of packing what we are doing. So taking one by one element and you adding somewhere. Okay, but in case of programming how we will add? With the help of keyboard, right? So maybe some other input output devices, right? So you are adding here. So this is also when we are adding some multiple values, so this is also a type of packing. Okay, so but is this is the concept of all that concept of packing? No, there is more concept of packing how we can do that, not only in case of here, but make sure these are things we are going to use when we are dealing the concept of packing. Okay, so let me copy some formal definitions I have written so that you will get some more understanding. Okay, or if you want to type something, or if you want to make it note. Okay, so let me do this again in this way. Okay, or let's make it is okay, so like that or like that. Okay, so now you will get the whole complete picture from here. Okay, so let me read again. So in Python, packing refer to process of combining multiple values to single container. Okay, so let's first explain this line of code. Okay, so into single line of code, so you can see here. Okay, but you might ask questions, can we do like let's call packing one something and box. You can say okay fine, you are saying like we can, if whenever assigning some multiple values to some list or tuples, you are saying this is called packing, right? But is this concept of packing the complete concept or whole concept? No, this is also concept of packing, but this is also way of packing. Okay, so what we are doing, we are taking multiple values, okay, and we want to store and we want to combine all these multiple values to a single container, this container, right? So this is also, so here you can see this is a type of list data structure. Here this is, you can say this is a tuple data structure. But what is data structure this have? Okay, so you might ask, so suppose you have assigning multiple values, so what type of data structure it will be there? What packing, the variable packing will type of data structure this one. Okay, So this will type of tuples. Okay, so suppose we are doing multiple thing like that, so by default it's converted to tuple. Okay, so if you are assigning some multiple, so two way, if you know the concept of tuples, so you can generally define tuples this way. Okay, or maybe you can also call, if you can also call tuple. Okay, this way also you can do, right, and also you can do with this way. Okay, so these three different way we are in Python available to define tuples. Okay, so it means if we want to pack something, so by default the container will be tuple. Okay, so if you know the concept of tuples, so you can easily get the idea. This is also we are doing the packing. Okay, so you can say, okay, fine. So now our first line saying refer to the process of combining multiple values into single container, right? So now you can see, okay, fine. So these are three different values and I want to add in single container. Okay, but can I do like, I want to add this value to some container too. Okay, suppose all the value are into one container. So can I do like that? I want to do in container 2, okay, and container 3. Okay, so because I want to assign 2 to container this one and this one to package 2 packing 1 or container, you can say. Let make it more realistic. So let's suppose I am going to say like container 1, container 2, container 3. Okay, okay, so this is one example. Let me copy that as well. So here I am going to store everything to one common container. Okay, and here I am going to assign this multiple value. Okay, so can you say, or is it possible? Yes, this is possible. So this was I was trying to explain. So these are concept. One way we can do packing multiple element to single container, right? Again here we assigning multiple values to multiple container, right? So you can say this concept is wrong. No, I'm just saying one element belong to one container. I cannot saying, or I'm not saying that two will belong to all these three container. Okay, so that is the main difference. Okay, so means obviously you can see multiple value we can do. So it's a type of multiple assignment. Sometime know the concept. So it's normally not the concept of packing. So it's a little bit about related to or maybe intersection point, right? So there is some intersection between these. So multiple assignment you can say. Okay, but sometime we discuss under the concept of packing. Okay, so in this case you can see that is concept of multiple assignment. Okay, but sometimes it's called. So, but this point is very important. Okay, sometimes you make the mistake, because I'm a multiple time student saying, okay, fine. So 2 is going to assign to these 3 variables. Okay, means 2 will also here, 2 will also there, 3 will also here. No, not like that. Okay, so you can just consider one to one mapping. Okay, so this one belongs to this one, the same order we are calling, this belong to them, this belong to this. So it's simple. Okay, you do not have to make any assumptions like that. So but I just making it clear so that it's fine for you. Okay, so this done. So till now we have understood this concept. Let's run this one. Okay, so first we are going to do this. Okay, or we have already created something, so let's create some different name. So let's print everything. Okay, so list 1. Okay, first I am going to print and tuple or tuple, whatever it is, this one I am going to print it, copy, paste. Okay, so again first print this one, container, again print it here. Okay, now you can directly call this one. Okay, why we are calling 2 times? Okay, I think I have already run this program. Okay, so you can see 2, 3, 4. This one is this okay, this one, this, okay. So you can see by default it is converted to tuple, okay, and this one is because we are doing multiple assignment, okay. So do you think there is more concept and we need this type of things? So let me explain some other use cases. So these are one use case, second use case, third use case. There is one more use case, not one, there is many, but I am just explaining one by one. So suppose you declare one functions, okay, and let's call return multiple, or not, I am going to do return values, okay. Maybe something. So you know, like you can return only one value, right? So most of the programming language have this feature, or this is use of function, right? So if you want to grouping some line of code inside some block, code blocks, and that gives some naming of that code block, that is called function. So in case here you say one function return one value, okay, but if you want to return multiple value, how we can do that? So again this is concept of packing, okay. So now it means we are returning multiple things, and because, and let's create here return function return fun, okay, and then I'm going to do, and again going to call return, so like that, okay. So now you are saying, okay, same, so you can say the concept is repeating, okay. So same thing what we are doing, but now with the help of function, yeah. So that is extra feature, right? That should be available because this only not working without return, but also it's working with return as well, okay. So multiple return also we can do with packing is also important. Packing, with the help of packing also we can return multiple values, right? So like that. So you can see again if you want to do like that, and let's suppose each individual value we want to add to a different variable, okay. So a, b, c, okay, and anything c or anything, and now can we do that again here? What do you think? Yeah, this is correct. So first I'm going to call this, okay, and then again I'm going to copy all these things to new print. Okay, so let's run this again. Okay, fine. So you can get the idea. Okay, so just you don't have to worry about how this is, but make sure is one to one mapping, you know, many to one mapping and one to one mapping. Okay, so mean each element and order should be okay. Order is you know important here. Okay, the order is passing returning here the same order we have to assign that value. Okay, so here I was assigning to multiple, and here I am going to assign to all the things. So sometimes you can consider as a type of tuples. Okay, so you can see return type of multiple value is by default converted to tuples, and also if you want to the same value you can also convert to individual element. Okay, so two things can be done, right? So one will be converted to this and one can be this. So multiple assignment like that, and this is converting to single. So if converting to single by default tuples and we are assigning to multiple value, it's a normal one-to-one mapping. Okay, so these are the things. One more concept like we have written here, right? But let's make some more interesting example here. Let's suppose DEF, okay, and let's suppose sorry, I am creating some function called sum, okay, and some summation, and create some value a, b, c, d. Okay, so we are creating one functions and that function will return sum of all. Okay, so sum there is already inbuilt method. So a comma b comma c comma d, right? Let's store to some result and called some values, and then we have to pass some value 1, 2, 3, 5, anything you can, and then print result. So still our main purpose is not fulfilled, right? So I am going to show you. Okay. So what is error? I think some we can work on iteratable. Okay. So we cannot directly call like that. Okay. So it should be type of any type of iteratable should be okay. So we cannot add like that. So how we could do that? So maybe let's make it something like that. Is this working now? Yeah, this is working now. Okay. So because sum is not working on individual element, we have to pass type of iteratable, or maybe generally if you do not want to do this, you have to like that. Okay. This is always the way, this is always available, so you don't have to worry about this. But how we can use the concept of here? So you can see, suppose we want to make some functions and that is going to perform additions. Okay. So if we are going to addition, so suppose in current scenario we have already make its fixed number of argument, right? So in this function only will add 4 element, right? But if I want to add 1 element, 2 element, 3 element, 4 element, or 100 element, any number of element, so in that case that number of variables you have to declare here. Okay. So if there is 10 variables, 10 parameter you have to pass, and you want to addition on 10 parameters, then you have to again every time you have to modify the code, okay, based on the parameter. So is there way, like if there instead of that, if we call anything like that, okay, suppose arg, something like that. So if there is some variables and that variable is represent, this variable represent all the different variables. Okay. So it means combining multiple parameters to single one. Okay. So how we can do that? Here we get the idea, combining multiple values to single, or multiple values to multiple variables, right? But here also can we work on the variables, because we want to, variables means can this work as a function parameter as well? Can we do? Yeah. So this is possible, and in that case you have to call some this way, a star is important, a star is needed, and args, and then if you need, so it's called this is called variable argument. Okay. So variable argument like that, and now it's a type of iteratable, so you can directly call the sum method and you can call args. Okay. So now you can pass any number of argument, you don't have to worry. Okay. But in that case of 4 only we have to pass 4. Okay. So do this again. Okay. So you can do, let run something, add something like that. Okay. So you can see these are value. So this is called variable argument, or other term is saying packing multiple values to single variables. Okay. This is single variable. So in case of functions you have to handle this thing. Okay. So you can write any value, not like that. Okay. So let's suppose, and is this possible, values? Okay. Okay. Let's run this again. Yeah. So this, there is no any meaning of name, or any name you can use. Okay. Or any thing. So this is naming convention should not be dependent on something, or it's not type of keyword. Okay. So I was try to take, is this reserved keyword or not. So but in case of here normal functions, not normal function, normal operations, we are not calling sum star. Okay. Because here we are not calling sum star like that. But when we are using the concept of packing, so it's doing the same thing, right? Packing multiple values to single value, right? Single container. So with the help of that, in functions we can perform this one, right? So in function, two way to achieve packing, one with the help of where returning multiple value, and one passing multiple argument. Yeah, these only two common places, right? either we have to pass multiple value, or either we have to return multiple things, because this is main core use cases of any function or defining functions, right? And yeah, I think we have covered everything, everyone. Okay, so this this concept we have all discussed, this concept already discussed, this concept returning also discussed, and this variable argument pass already discussed. So I think these are going to be very helpful while we are performing, if you are developing your own library, not even library, I'm just saying when I was creating some library for public use cases, so I just use this type of things, okay, so that in less line of code you can perform rest of your activity or rest of your operations, okay. So I hope if there is more use cases you are thinking you have used in your programming journey, so you can also comment down below. I will try to cover everything, okay. So I hope you are also watching this type of video and at the end till the end, okay, so that you are getting, because later in coming video I am going to cover more and more advanced concept, okay. So make sure your all solid foundation is built on that, okay. And so packing is fundamental concept that allow for flexible handling of multiple values in Python, right? And it also often used in scenario where number of element is dynamic, or when dealing with functions that return or accept multiple number of argument, okay. So that's all everyone for this video. Let's meet in another one. So thank you for watching.